Yeah, I'm in the game trying to level up. Yeah, I'm in the game trying to level up. Yeah, I'm in the game trying to level up. These other haters, man, they trying to settle up.
Hello, and welcome to the 16th episode of Ninja Talk. The topic for tonight's episode is Loki, available for streaming on Disney Plus. We will be breaking down the show as a whole, discussing some of our favorite scenes, and giving our thoughts on the roster of characters. My name is Eric, your host for tonight's show, and I am joined by Mike
What's good?
and Carl.
What's good?
So, without any further delay, let's get started. So, y'all, we've all watched six season episode Loki. What are some of your thoughts? Go ahead, Carl. You smiling. Go ahead.
Oh man, yo, it was great, honestly, man. To be honest, man, I was really trying to like rate the three like TV series: WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, Loki is kind of going toe to toe with Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was really good. It was just really interesting because before even just getting into the show, me and one of my boys were like kind of talking about like the whole quantum verse and like all that type of stuff. I haven't fully grasped it, but he had like a greater understanding of it than I did.
Yeah.
So it was like certain things he was explaining to me, and then seeing that stuff happening in the show made like just the experience of watching the six episode season so much more intriguing. So I was like, damn, this stuff's mad good, yo. Like I was going into it like, Loki. I don't even really like Loki, but how can they make this good? And then I got into it. I was like, oh, y'all did that? Damn, these Disney doing their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Damn. Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect either. I was like, multi-universe Loki, like, what are we doing here? Like, at first I was like, I hate that they killed off characters, but they're trying to bring them back in some capacity. That's annoying to me. Like, it makes their death mean nothing if they're coming back, right? So at first, I didn't like the idea at all. I was like, man, he died, bro. He got clapped. He died.
Fine.
But I was impressed. I was
Got
impressed.
choked out.
Especially with the ending. With the ending, I kind of see where they're going, how they're setting up the future movies.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man is gonna be lit. I see it.
Yeah.
I understand now. I'm excited. I love the way this movie is gonna set up the future. This show sets up the future movies. It got me hyped.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely true. I mean, I was kind of excited going in because, like, yo, after watching WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like, yo, Loki's about to get hype. It's about to be hype as hell.
Mhm.
And I was not disappointed, for sure. Story-wise, I was, like, surprised. I was like, oh, okay, then. Kind of like what they did, dropping all the Easter eggs and the whole, variant TVA and all that jazz. It was very, I thoroughly enjoyed it myself. And like you said, I mean, I wasn't sure how these shows are going to tie in, especially Loki. It's like it's Loki, like he does nothing but cause trouble.
Right.
So oh, okay, well, here we go, another multiverse war. I'm all for it. Let's go. But it does make you look forward to the upcoming movies even more. So
For sure. At first I wasn't like crazy. Like, how do you guys feel about Loki kind of no longer being a villain, basically? Like, they gave him like a redemption arc in a way.
I mean, so if we look at all the other movies, didn't he kind of do that already?
True.
Yeah, I feel like this was just done in a different way. Like, because ultimately it wasn't Thor Ragnarok, that was highly trash. Um yeah, I mean he's like, at the beginning, he's kind of, he banished freaking Odin and is ruling Asgard. Like, bro, that's a dick move. Like, why would you do that? But at the end of that, he's helping Thor fight off Hela, and caring for the people of Asgard. So
True.
I feel like, like I said, I felt like it's basically, the same thing, just told different ways.
Right.
Yeah. To kind of like piggy off what you said. When you think about like just the ending of Loki, he seemed like a good guy more out of fear than it was out of him wanting to do the right thing. Because it was like he was explaining to female Loki
So
how like
Yeah.
if we kill this dude, he's just gonna come back, but he's gonna come back from a different like time strain. So it's almost as if we never even really beat this guy. And he was expressing to what was it, Mobius, how this dude is like way out of our league. Like we're not like in a boxing fight, in a boxing match, we're not seeing this dude.
he's Mike Tyson with some no name chump. You know what I mean?
But I think Loki's relationship with Mobius in general like made him a better person.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, let's be real. That was like his first friend.
Yeah.
Right.
Like out of all movies he's been in, that is like Loki, his first friend. Like, come on now.
First friend, first love, like
Yeah, a lot of firsts.
man's
That's for
growing.
sure.
So wait, I had a question actually. So isn't Mobius supposedly Red Hulk?
No
I
clue.
thought that was no, I thought that was General Ross. That was the Red Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah, Thaddeus Ross that becomes the Red Hulk.
Okay. Okay. All right, I must have like the wrong like people and stuff.
That's why we ask questions, bro.
Right.
Do you guys know if this the series was based on anything in the comics? Like, are these characters like Mobius and Timekeeper and all that show up in the comics?
So I know there is the TVA and Chronopolis. I know that occurs in the comics, but as for this exact storyline, I think it's
Or
just like
something similar.
yeah. I don't think it's like I said. Maybe they pull like elements from the comic books
Right.
just to tell the story, but I don't think it's based off any like certain thing.
Bet.
And for them just pulling it out their asses, it came out pretty good. I'm just saying. Usually when people kind of deviate from the script or like source material, it's like, why? Why would you do that? A good prime example would be M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar movie. God, that was awful.
I'd argue it actually followed the story badly, but it followed the story. Oh,
Bro.
The characters were just done awfully. Like,
Yeah, I mean, so it's like, and so in that sense, that's like you're following the story 95% of the time, but that last 5% is the most important stuff, and you're just like destroying it. Like,
yeah.
Another example could be season 8 of Game of Thrones.
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
What?
Yeah.
Neither have I.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I like the fantasy, like people, killing each other over the throne. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've seen
I
like
enjoyed
2
it.
episodes and it wasn't doing anything for me. It must have been the wrong 2 episodes to watch, but I was just sitting there like
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh man. And then didn't help how it ended and everybody hated the ending. So then I was like,
Yeah.
I'm really never
Well,
gonna watch
because
this.
homeboy because Homeboy didn't finish the books, so HBO took it upon themselves to just like write it ended. Like, bro, no, don't.
Man.
I remember everyone's like, reshoot, reshoot. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot. Like, I'm mad how it ended, but that's just too much. Again, homie didn't finish the books, so that's on him. Anyway, back to Loki.
All right. So what would you guys have done at the end? Do you stab home dude? Or do you
Keep
take over?
remains.
Or do you keep, the whole sacred timeline intact?
So basically, you're asking, do we agree with the TVA or do we not agree with the TVA's
Pretty
message?
much. Because Homeboy was spitting and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
He kind of making sense.
Yeah. So when he was breaking that all down, I was like, damn, that's true. That's messed up, but that's true. I was like, wow, okay. I don't know. So me personally, I feel like and I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be on the team TVA. It's like, damn, it's like, yo, so if I have the chance to keep like this huge baddie out of like the timeline,
Mhm.
and yeah, I know it's messed up. And then you got characters like, you have characters ended up like Sylvie or the variant Lokis being pruned and ending up in wherever the hell they end up.
Mhm.
And it's like, damn, I feel bad. But at the same time, it's like, it's a necessary sacrifice to stop this whole bigger evil. So,
It's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm saying, I couldn't even believe when I was just saying, I was like, shit, this is really how I feel. But I feel like it's definitely a necessary evil, especially if you don't want to deal with another, Thanos level threat. But that's
What
me.
you think, Carl?
I think I would have did what our Loki,
Yeah.
was proposing, which was to actually no, he didn't propose it. My bad. Kane the Conqueror proposed to them, which was it's either they take over and become the new conquerors just to kind of like dictate how the TVA is being run. Just like Eric said, just to kind of move this baddie out the way, because technically, I mean, this dude is inevitable, But at the same time, I was really thinking about it as Eric was speaking. I was like, yo, you know what? Even if we like those two Lokis were to take over, or let's just say if I was to take over or whatever, Homeboy is inevitable. So a different timeline of him would have just came and then just reconquered whoever has taken the throne. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Because like at the same time, we also have to take into consideration that he understands this thing, like how this whole time thing works. And then Loki and Sylvie were kind of like rookies to it, It's like Lil Wayne said, "What's a goon to a goblin?"
But he had the whole thing set up. They just had to, maintain status quo. Like, hey,
so like
when there's a whatever they called it,
a breach.
Branch.
When branch starts trickling out, go handle it. Like, and I think that would have prevented another variant of the Homeboy.
So I think at this present time, he was the only king to exist because like all the rest of them were like wiped out during the multiversal war.
Okay.
So he came out on top. Wow. He set up the TVA and Alioth to handle all those branches. But now that he's killed, that restarts the loop of all these different kings being born.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, if that's the case, then yeah, I would go with what you said about just keeping the TVA intact, and you know what I'm saying.
But there's always, I mean, this dude is human, right?
Right, facts.
Yeah.
So
That's the part that blew my mind.
like you could find a way to stop him before it gets to that point.
Truth.
Yeah. But see,
True.
like that's mad extra stuff I gotta do. Just pull the TVA. Like, we're gonna prune this branch. Beep. Let's go. Bam. All taken care of.
But that's definitely true. He is human.
Yeah.
Which I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Like, how does a mortal literally conquers celestials and deities, demigods? Like, how you doing that? Like,
I believe he said he was from the year 2099, if I caught that right.
mhm.
So I'm guessing there
Yeah,
has some
31st century.
that's what he said, 31st century.
Mm.
So I'm guessing he had some dope tech.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, first off, he had to be smart enough to figure out there's like multiverses. You got to be smart enough to figure out how to travel between them. So long story short, homeboy is hella smart, and we already established from the Batman episode that it's usually the smart ones that are hella dangerous. Hence, King the Conqueror.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, now that I put it that way, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if we get any other variants of King. I only really know of King, the one that ruled Egypt.
Mhm.
This one that we saw in the finale, and then Mortis.
And then they were saying that actually I was looking a little bit into it too. There's a variant of him that becomes Iron Kid or something like that.
Iron Lad, yeah.
Yeah, Iron Lad. There we go. And he's like the one that starts the Young Avengers, something like that.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, huh. Probably saw that in some kind of video. I was like, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to see how they use him. If it's just like having different variants pop up here and there.
Right.
There was a video I was watching that kind of got into like how the comics breaks down how he was able to live so long.
Yeah.
It was saying that there's a machine he used to so he used the machine so that he could be able to live like that long. And he goes into the time of Madonna and impregnates her. He uses technology to get her to fall in love with him, to have a kid, but the kid can't step out of limbo. So I think he impregnates some human being. I don't remember if it was Madonna, but it might have been somebody else, so that he can be born into the real world. It was mad. Yo, the comics made it 50 times more complicated. I'm already trying to wrap my head around this whole multiverse thing.
Like, yo, what are you talking about?
Facts.
That's crazy. So, who are like some of you guys' favorite characters besides like the main variant Loki that we know?
Gotta be Mobius for me, for sure. I always like Owen Wilson in general. But I ain't gonna lie, I almost teared up a little bit when he got pruned. When he was talking about, man, I just want my what was it?
Jet ski.
Jet ski. Yeah. I was like, damn. I hope wherever he's going, he got a jet ski, man.
Yo, what was with all those because I noticed a bunch of memes and jokes about him dying on a jet ski or something like that online. Like mad people would after episode 5 or 4 or whatever, mad people were posting up memes about it. I was like, yo, what the heck? How's everybody talking about this? And I went into the show Loki thinking homie was about to pull up on a jet ski. And it never happened.
He just had that magazine. He was always looking at one for whatever reason.
So he must have had one in whatever life he had previously before he was dragged to the TVA.
Mm-hmm.
Which I found was pretty interesting, is that everyone that works at the TVA is a variant.
Right.
Variant. I was like, oh, here I'm thinking, just like, oh, we're all created, you know, in the TVA. It's like, oh, no, you weren't. You were lied to.
In the comics, you remember like the guy that Loki asks him for the Tesseract. He opens up the drawer and you see like the Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
So technically, those guys in the comics, they're not actual real people.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess in this variation, they made them real people.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you mean they're not real people? They're like androids or like?
Yeah, like they're like they're not robots, but it's like, you know, when you play the games and you have the NPCs.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like one of those.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Another thing I found interesting. Actually, Carl, what was one of your favorite characters of the show?
I mean, I guess I would have to stick with the original Loki. I mean, there wasn't really even too much people in the in the season to really be like, oh, yo, I love this guy. You know what I'm saying? But
True.
so I would just stick with the Loki, especially with the character development and, you know, putting him through like all these like, you know, moments where he had to reflect on himself and who he was. And he discovered that he's a narcissist and all this type of joint. So I guess I would say Loki just for like the character development.
Okay. It's a good ass answer. It's a good answer. I don't know, I kind of feel the same way. Like I enjoyed his journey to realizing like what's really the problem. Like, and pretty much his redemption arc.
Yep.
So I definitely think Loki, he deserves it. Out of all the characters, he definitely deserves it. Because I don't think he's evil at heart. I think he's a good person at heart. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's because maybe Odin kind of neglected him or something like that. He felt like he needed like that approval. And so he kind of like did all these outlandish things trying to prove like, how much capable as Thor is, smarter, I need affection too, you know what I mean? And probably devastated when he found out he's a freaking frost giant. Like, oh, you guys don't like me because I'm a frost giant, basically. But definitely, so far, my favorite character is definitely the main variant, Loki.
I got a question.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't really get is why is every variant of Loki something different, but we see variants of other people under the same image, right?
Well, I mean, a variant can be any can have any like sex, race, or anything like that. So, and plus you have to think like kid Loki, the original Loki probably, he was a kid, and then so you have to figure at that point when he was younger, he accidentally ended up killing Thor or whatever. So he, created that variant timeline where he killed Thor, and then TVA came in, pruned that branch, and then that Loki continued, the sacred timeline Loki continued to grow up into this Loki. So we mean maybe that's one.
But we also got like an alligator.
I feel like, because you know how like Loki can transform into different animals and all that.
Yeah.
I feel like he maybe like played one too many pranks, and Odin was like, "Yo, you know what? You're a freaking alligator. That's it."
That's actually really good answer. that you said right there, because
Mhm.
I was asking the same question Mike was asking, like, why were there so many different forms of like female Loki? There was a black Loki, old man Loki,
Yeah.
alligator Loki.
Yeah.
But I mean, my answer to, at least to myself, was like, just like how in like the Spider-Man multiverse, they had like a pig Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They got Miles Morales. You know what I'm saying? You know, or in the Deadpool multiverse, they got a pig Deadpool, and you know what I'm saying. So that was just like my answer to myself. But I really like your answer too about the whole Odin turning him into an alligator type joint.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you go back to the Spider-Man in the multiverse, kind of the same thing. You know, you have those different versions. You know, same thing with all the Lokis.
Right. All right. That.
What did you guys? What was like one of your favorite like moments, like throughout the entire thing?
You already know what
Carl,
I'm.
you look.
You already know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you know, see, as I said that, I was like, you know what? You know, Carl's favorite moment is probably gonna be when they're colored up in the blanket, trying to, you know, express their feelings. And then also when she kisses him at the end and shoves him through the portal.
Got it, man.
Those Carl's two favorite scenes right there.
It was my favorite scene,
Right
man. Cause like, yo, at first I was like conflicted. I was like, hold on. That's himself. Oh, I don't care, man. It's a love scene.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, those were my favorite scenes.
I'm gonna have to go with the last battle between Sylvie and Loki. You know, they're trading you know, clashing swords and stuff like that. And then episode 5, where old man Loki comes back, you know, conjures a building, distracts Alioth and all that.
That was fire.
Yeah.
So I mean, that whole thing, that just goes to show you like Lokis are powerful as hell.
Yeah.
As long as it's like if they can like tap into their true powers, like, and even old man Loki's like whole like backstory, he conjured a freaking illusion so real that he managed to fool Thanos. It's like, damn, that's crazy.
Facts.
You know how strong, you know, crazy strong and powerful you gotta be to do something like that.
Right.
I was like, wow, okay then.
He took one for the team, man.
Yeah, he definitely did. Felt like he might have been like a fan favorite Loki.
Right. High key, yo. High key.
First things first, rest in peace, old man Loki.
Hashtag was one of my favorite moments. I think it had to be one of them. Would have to be when Mobius trapped him in that time loop thing, and then you know he gets kicked in the nuts like mad times.
Oof.
Yeah, that shit hurt. I was hurting watching that. I was like, oh my god. But and first off, it was good to see Lady Sif back. Welcome back. And then the whole like realization of like Loki finally figuring out like what the hell, like what his truth was basically.
Yeah.
That's like character development at its finest.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? Look at you, Loki. Good for you.
The one thing I'll say about all 3 of these shows, they're like really well written. Like character wise, they did their thing.
Yeah.
All 3 of them. I'm like, oh, it's impressive. I gotta check who's writing this stuff.
Follow him on Twitter.
I'm impressed.
So I think that was definitely a well written like episode. The whole the episode where like they found the TVA and Loki finally locate like the variant Loki that they've been chasing.
Mm,
It's basically Sylvie, and her whole jumping between bodies and all that, and
hmm.
fighting Loki, and then finally joins her basically, turning on the TVA.
Right.
Um,
I had no idea where the show was going. I was like, what, you know, at that point, I was like, what are we doing? Like, are we just gonna watch Loki like hunt variants, like a new
yeah,
variant every episode kind of thing?
that's what I was thinking. I was like, so he's just gonna be like Loki the Variant Slayer or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say that. I would kind of expect him to turn on the TVA because that's just what Loki does.
Mhm.
Right.
So I was already expecting that. One thing I wasn't expecting him to do was fall in love with himself,
Mhm.
like Sylvie.
Right.
It's like, oh, I didn't see that coming. I felt like I figured it was just gonna be like, all right, we're gonna team up, we're gonna take down the TVA.
Mhm.
That's it. Go our separate ways. But like, homie legit fell hard for her. I was like, well, damn, that's some narcissistic type shit.
Facts.
Like, bro, you just fell in love with yourself.
So
That's
The
wow.
moral of the story.
It's one of my favorite scenes right there.
um, how do you guys think does the ending with the whole branching out and stuff, all that, is gonna affect like the other Marvel properties like Deadpool, Fantastic Four,
Hmm.
X-Men?
So it's funny you say that because I actually feel like they can actually use this to introduce the X-Men and like mutants
Right.
into the MCU, and also kind of like this kind of solves a problem that a lot of people still have for Black Panther. They could also they could use this to like pull uh, a variant of T'Challa from
Mm.
like a
Oh,
like a
snap.
burned down beat up Wakanda, like find out
Oh,
like
That's interesting.
yeah, so like pull up T'Challa from a different Wakanda that got invaded and got taken over and kind of like collapsed, and give that T'Challa like a second chance at ruling this Wakanda.
But how would they do it? Because my boy Chadwick Boseman is gone.
Well, I'm saying they'd have to. They'd have to kill him off, or like
Right.
kill him, and like, which would suck if they have to kill him off screen. Because
Yeah.
like when someone that like big dies, you want to be able to see his death. You know what I mean?
Right.
So one thing that's gonna be tough to figure
Right.
out. But if they do it successfully, then they can transition into this type thing and kind of
Right.
just
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Ah, man. There's so many possibilities, man.
yeah. So I think that's one thing that I kind of like automatically thought of when I saw these branches like forming up. I was like, oh, that kind of gives you a solution to Black Panther's problem.
I was reading up a little bit on Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
And so essentially remember the girl Thor falls in love with, the human girl?
Jane Foster.
Jane Foster. So essentially she becomes Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So this could be one of those branches.
Yeah. Ooh, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be...
So now my concern is now that we have so many branches, are they just gonna find an excuse to give us like multiverse movies? Like here's a version of Thor, and then here's another Thor movie, but in a different timeline. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. So I feel like if you're gonna do that, it has to be for like a legit reason.
Right.
And not just, you know what? Let's make a Black Thor.
Yo,
That's
I'll be
exactly
all
what
on it.
You know, I feel like that's what they're gonna do. Stuff like that. You know.
Like I said, if it's done for like a reason and it's written well, one here or there, not the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's straight ass and you start doing it for like everybody and their mother,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, no, we don't want this. Like, come on. That's I mean, that's how I'm kind of feeling about it right now.
Mm-hmm. Or will they find a way to close off the branches and go back to one timeline?
Well, so I think that kind of.
That
So I think that kind of like that whole loop that the He Who Remains was kind of talking about.
yeah.
It'd probably have to be something else like that. Like they'd have that multiversal war. They're gonna have to wipe each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're sending everybody back to the void or whatever. That's that's the only way they're gonna get rid of everything, unless homeboy Doctor Strange pulls some magic shit out of his ass.
Right.
It's
goes,
coming.
yeah. So I don't know.
I was one of the questions that Loki did bring up was when the Avengers traveled into the past to kind of fix the whole Thanos situation,
Mhm.
and then they said that the TVA answered, "Oh, well, we knew that they were gonna do that," and that kind of blew my mind. I was watching one video. It was saying how like, remember how like Doctor Strange saw like a couple different like
Not a
endings.
couple.
Yeah.
a
It was
lot.
like a how much was it? Like a
Hella.
couple.
Millions.
Yeah, and then
What
he
was it,
was
like 14 million and something?
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
But what they said in the video was all those different endings that he saw was still within the timeline. And
Yeah.
if he was to step out of it, to step like let's say they were like supposed to be to do something completely off, that's when the TVA would have stepped in and like would have had to like nip that in the bud. And I was like, oh shoot. And that kind of blew my mind. I was like, damn. Cause like I was asking myself that question too. I was like, damn. But they had my boy over here seeing like all these like different like endings and whatnot. What's up with him?
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was picking on my boy Loki, but they save themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So that that was actually supposed to happen in the sacred timeline. So they kind of just followed the script because that's how he wrote it apparently.
Wow.
So if they had done anything other than time travel, that would have opened up a whole new branch, and then TVA is gonna come in and prune that.
Wow.
That hurts my head.
Yeah, same.
It's like, all right, so you're telling me time travel is part of the sacred timeline, really? Because when you think about time travel, you always think about going to the past and changing something, even if it's small as hell.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that would automatically create like a branch because you're going back in time.
They did. Sorry, go ahead, continue. I'll say what I said.
I was just gonna say, so like the fact that they actually Steve Rogers, Captain America, took the stones back and Mjolnir back.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of pruned those branches.
Right.
So basically, he pulled a TVA in a sense, except he wasn't going in and freaking setting charges and shit. He he kind of just put each thing back in its rightful place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they would never take it out in the first place.
Right.
So
I remember they did talk about like it's small things that set off Nexus events.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the best way to kind of look at it is like, remember when in I don't know if you guys saw that episode of Boruto where Sasuke and Boruto travel to the past to go to meet younger Naruto and Jiraiya. And Jiraiya knows that Sasuke is Sasuke from the future.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't see that episode yet?
So
It was like a filler art. It was like a filler art.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not really on Boruto like that. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But I did see the parts that you're talking about on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I was watching some kind of video and they were talking about, Boruto and Sasuke travel back in time.
Mhm.
I was like, all right, so how? First off, like, so what is this? Renegon let him go back in time now? Like, the fuck?
I think one of the Otsukis was able to travel back in time, and so they jumped in the portal with him.
Okay.
And so they went back to so what he was trying to do was he was trying to go back to a time where he can get the Nine Tails.
Okay.
Or something like that. It was something along those lines. But they encounter Jiraiya and younger Naruto. And after a while, so Sasuke tells Boruto, don't do anything to change the future. And so they make up names and make up aliases to kind of like interact with everybody. And then Sasuke even hides his Renegon just to kind of like, so Jiraiya never catches on, but Jiraiya, he like 10 steps ahead. He ends up catching on, and at the end of the episode, Sasuke wipes their memory of ever knowing about this whole like encounter and this whole visitation, and then they go back to the future. So it's like they kind of like cut off that whole Nexus event thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, now we in freaking time travel with Boruto. See,
Facts.
Like, see, messing with time travel, that's always a messy business.
Right.
For sure.
If you could time travel, would you?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, have you not seen Back to the Future? Give myself that bet book. Like, yo, these motherfuckers is gonna win. Bet.
I'll set off that Nexus event, bro. The TVA would come after you.
Shit, about to pull a Sylvie and just hide in like doom places. They won't be able to find me.
What about you, Mike? What would you do if you was able to time travel?
Maybe just go tell my younger self, some words of advice real quick. Like, hey, go invest in some Bitcoin.
Facts.
Sure, bro. Like, yo, you know how much money I would have right now?
Facts.
But see, that also goes back to a Nexus event. Because if we did that, would we have ever started the podcast?
That's true. Damn. That's true. Holy smokes.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. So
dang. Yo, you just blew my mind, bro.
But Boruto, real quick, why I've never watched it is because when Naruto ended, I was like, I'm done. Like, I started watching Naruto in middle school and then didn't finish until after I graduated college, I think. So like I was at the point where I've seen his story. I'm good. I'm good. Like I don't need no next generation series. Get that shit out of here. So that's why I've never watched Boruto. I'm shocked they introduced time travel in Boruto. Shocked. Even if it's a filler arc, I'm shocked.
Yeah, no.
That's wild.
I feel like they did it because when they introduced what's his name? Jiraiya's clone. So Jiraiya has a clone that's part of that group Kara. And so everybody's like, wait a minute. Everybody's the fan base is asking questions now. Like, how did you find Jiraiya's body? How did you get Jiraiya's body? How come y'all didn't bring him back with the Edo Tensei? People asking questions. So they're just like, damn it, we got to answer their questions. Have them go to the past or something. Because if they bring back Jiraiya, it would kind of be like a waste.
Of course.
But at the same time, they're like, all right, let's give them what they want, but not really.
So basically what you're saying is time travel fixes everything.
Pretty much, at least for the fan base.
Like, oh, let's just shut them up. Time travel. Oh, okay.
I hate time travel as a plot device in general.
Yeah. Though, Endgame did pretty nice.
I like the way Endgame. I'm glad they didn't take the easy way of just going back in time and fighting Thanos. I like that they went. It's like, all right, let's get the Infinity Stones so we can undo what Thanos did. I like that. I was like, that's an easy cop out, bro. Come on, man. Time
and
travel.
it makes for a much more interesting story.
Right.
And then it kind of gave us this Loki, so that's also a good thing.
Yeah. They did their thing. I ain't gonna lie. They did their thing. Set this whole thing up. This next phase, bro.
Phase 4, bro.
I'm
It's about
impressed.
to be big. But,
Speaking of Infinity Stones, I'm surprised we haven't covered the whole that desk full of Infinity Stones. Where did they all come from? You know what I'm saying? Why, at some point homie was like, yo, these Infinity Stones are worthless. Why were they worthless?
Decoration.
Paperweight, all this
paperweight.
It just makes the whole Thanos thing look like it was just a waste.
Yeah.
It makes the death of freaking what's his name? Tony Stark and Black Widow a whole waste. Gamora, everybody a waste.
I'll see. All right. So, I didn't know this at first, but I did some research on it. So, and now that I know, it's like, oh, that makes total sense. So, let's go back to Endgame, where the Ancient One is explaining how the Infinity Stones make up the sacred, one timeline. So in order for that timeline to exist, they need all 6 Infinity Stones. If you take those stones, well, first off, establish that those stones only work in that said timeline or universe. So if you take the stones out of that universe and put them into a different universe, they won't work because they were designed to work in the universe that you took them from.
Okay.
And then so the quantum realm has just its own universe.
Wow.
So taking those stones out of universe A and then putting them in universe B, we call it the quantum zone. Those stones that were designed to work in universe A aren't going to work in universe B.
Right.
So all those stones that they accumulated, they were for universe B, C, D, E. When those universes were destroyed and the Infinity Stones were taken, and brought to universe, A, basically paperweights because they had no power in this universe.
Right.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Damn.
So they just grab these things as souvenirs on their way out.
I cannot.
Timeline destroyed. Hey, let's grab this Infinity Stone. Good work, guys.
Go home. Let's grab some beers. I feel like they probably grabbed them from universes that they pruned.
Yeah.
It's this universe doesn't maybe the villain got a hold of all of them, but that said villain wasn't supposed to. So TVA steps in. Oh, okay, we'll just prune, take the Infinity Stones. Kind of like how they do with Loki when he gets the Tesseract.
Right.
They find him, they arrest him, grab the Tesseract, and go back to the quantum realm.
Makes sense.
And another thing I found interesting, because you know how in Captain America, the first Avenger, when the Red Skull tries to grab the Tesseract with his hand, and Homeboy is teleported. I found it interesting that before they even go to the quantum realm, like it wasn't him, Hunter B-15. She picks up the Tesseract like it was nothing.
What?
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And so, like, I was watching watching some video, and they kind of explained that, and they were like, so, and it makes sense. So, if do you guys see, um, the second Ant-Man movie,
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp? You know how Hope's mom is imbued with like quantum energy from being
Yeah.
stuck in the quantum realm for so long. Like I think because B-15 hasn't been in the quantum realm so long, she absorbed quantum energy herself.
Mhm.
And since stones have no effect in the quantum realm, like because she had so much quantum energy stored up, the stones had no effect on her,
Mhm.
giving her the ability to just pick it up like it was just a regular toy.
That's
Makes
interesting.
sense.
That's an interesting take.
I was like, huh, what do you know? I mean, that kind of also explained why Ant-Man wasn't vaporized during the snap because he was in the quantum realm.
Mhm.
So the effects didn't, can't affect the quantum realm.
Right. But what's her name? The Thing's
The mom?
mom. She got snapped away though.
Yeah, but I think she used up all her quantum energy when she stabilized Ghost.
Okay.
So she didn't have any more, which is probably why she got snapped too.
Damn. Woo. Yo. That's deep, bro. That's actually really deep.
Yeah, it's crazy. But it's always those little things that you gotta take into account with these comic book movies. Like, oh shit, how'd that happen? It's like, well, if you go back to here,
It's crazy that there's an explanation for it like 20 movies ago.
That's how you know
exactly.
they planned everything very well.
Yeah.
It's like
You gotta plant those eggs where you can, bro.
I'm curious to see how they're about to do all the the other stuff, like the other shows, you know?
Yeah.
Like what's
It's
the
I
next
think
movie that's supposed to be coming up after?
So I
Chung
think
Li.
Shang
Chang is Chang Li? I said Chung. Shang? What's the name of the movie?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah. My fault.
Now who's this guy?
He
Like
said Chung-Li.
where does he come from? He was just like a random.
We gonna find out.
No, I think he had like a comic book series.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, so I mean, he probably has something. I don't know. Maybe this movie results in as a result from the multiverse being created. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna, maybe he's gonna join the new Avengers whenever that comes out. I don't know. You know, just to probably something's gonna happen there just to set up like one of the next movies coming out and stuff like that.
Right.
So, and let's be real. I mean, when's the last time we really heard about an Asian superhero that people are actually excited about, like Americans and then Asians?
Yeah, it's time for sure.
Yeah. Just how we got the Black Panther, like Wakanda up in here, kind of had that diversity that they're trying to do now.
Right.
Trying to include everybody, make sure everyone gets their participation award. So man, that was a mouthful, but yeah. And then I think what's after that, Spider-Man.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I think there's also like a Hawkeye show somewhere in there.
Yeah. Hawkeye is coming on Disney Plus.
I'm curious to see that one. Now, I was watching one video which talked about the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Which was like Marvel's variation of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And they talked about how in the movie Black Widow, it was like one of the girls on her team. She ends up becoming the new Black Widow, and
Mhm.
like they talk about like everybody who's gonna be like, well, they're like everyone that they're speculating to be on the new on the Thunderbolts team. So she was one. They assumed that U.S. agent he was gonna be one.
Forgot about that dude.
War
Yeah.
War Machine was gonna be one.
Okay.
Yeah, but all these people were gonna like be part of the like Thunderbolts team. I wonder if they're gonna talk about that in like that new Hawkeye movie should be coming up. That'd be kind of interesting if they talk about it a little bit more. Since like, you know, he was like a agent with Black Widow.
What else to say about Hawkeye? They should go back and make a movie of after the snap, Hawkeye going solo.
Mhm.
Man was on a mission. I want to see that.
Elimination. What did we do to you? You survived. Oh shit. That's dark. That's dark. But I mean, I'd watch it. Like, how much just going around slaughtering, Yakuza and everybody else. Like, we didn't do anything to you. Everybody else got Thanos. You get me. Deal with it. I mean, I don't know. Like, given the 3 shows that we got so far, how do you feel like Hawkeye is gonna do?
I
'Cause
think
let's be honest, Hawkeye's not. He's not too many people's favorite Avenger.
True.
I've been fiending for more Hawkeye screen time forever. One, because I just like I said previously at some point, I like the whole archery thing.
Yeah.
So he should have been got more screen time. So I think this show is gonna focus on his daughter though.
Yeah.
Oh, word.
So, but I mean, I have total faith in the writers at this point. Total faith.
Yeah, no, same.
All the thief.
Because I heard the Black Widow movie did well. So if they did well and we didn't really like Black Widow too much, I think they should do with the Hawkeye movie.
I heard different accounts. Like, it was phenomenal. Some people saying it was like even better than Captain America Winter Soldier.
Nah, no way.
I swear.
Dog, I'm going to watch it tomorrow. I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
That was just one thing I heard. People were saying that, it's not as good because it should have came out like way earlier. It would have had more impact.
Yeah.
That Captain Marvel treatment.
Yeah, basically. And I mean, it's like it just doesn't make sense. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, my whole hype for the movie, it kind of died down after it got canceled multiple times. When they first announced it, like, oh shit, it's gonna be fire. Like, oh, it's been pushed back.
Due to COVID, though.
COVID.
COVID out here messing up plans.
Exactly. The first time I was all right, I get it. COVID. Second time.
I think my brother said he watched it and he said that the TV series are linked somehow to the movie as well, even though Black Widow is a prequel. Yeah, I don't know how, but
it's interesting.
I need to go find out.
You gonna go see it in the theater or buy it on
Disney? I'll probably watch it in the theater. If tickets are still $12, I'll go watch it in the theater.
Feel you.
I feel you.
I've been meaning to go watch it actually.
I have to go see it tomorrow now. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I kind of just want to wait till it's free. I don't know. We'll see though.
Feel it.
So I heard different reviews. Some say it could have been a little better. A little things were a little forced. I think the Taskmaster is getting a lot of hate.
Really?
Yeah. People said, he was good until he took off the mask. So I don't know, maybe somebody that's playing him that shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he was the other one that's gonna be on the Thunderbolts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But that one thing I thought, like I seen a picture of his comic book counterpart, and it's like he's supposed to be wearing like a skull mask. Why do you have him wearing like this
Mhm.
high tech ski mask or something? I was like, what the hell's going on here? But so I don't know. I definitely have to watch it before I give my
Right.
opinion on it.
Right.
But those are things I just heard through the grapevine. All right, gents. So, final thoughts. Go ahead, Carl.
Nah, man. Final thoughts. I mean, honestly, the show was good. It was really good, actually. Definitely passed my expectations. I like the way they did everything. They planned everything. The writers, man, they were spot on. Like they answered certain questions that you're like, what? And then like, they answered it. I'm just curious to see how they're gonna like shape everything out in the movies to come. Like especially with like at the ending when you saw like the branches like forming out.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what's about to happen. Who's about like new superheroes that we're gonna meet or older superheroes, but different variations of them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Katie and Carl. See.
To piggy off Carl. Nah, I am hyped beyond hyped. I kind of like forgot, not forgot, but it wasn't like on my mind. The movies that were coming out, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, it wasn't on my mind. And then I watched the last episode of Loki, and I am hyped again. I am hyped. I need these movies.
Like,
I need these movies, bro. I'm hyped. I'm ready. We're only a few months away, really. It's gonna fly by.
Yeah.
So I think we got no Marvel content till September, I think.
That was August.
What's in August?
Shang-Chi.
I thought that was September, like early September though. So
I thought something was coming out in August. I don't know.
But I still gotta watch Black Widow, so that'll hold me over. Hold me over till
Tide me
September.
over.
But yeah, I'm hyped. I'm excited. Shout out to the writers. I wish I looked it up before the show. Give y'all some credit.
Name them by name. Like, oh, you did a good job. You did a good job.
But yeah, Loki, very, very, very good. I don't want to put a number on it.
I mean, Carl gave it 10 out of 10. You don't need to put a number on
it. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, yeah, you guys pretty much summed it up. I'm excited. Like, I knew going in, some kind of Loki was gonna f things up. I'm kind of glad it was Sylvie, not our boy Loki, because I mean that kind of whatever ruined his redemption that he had throughout the show. So, but I am excited to see where all these branches lead and what comes of it. Comes of it all. Get to see Mr. King. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. All of us here at Ninja Talk would like to thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Ninja Talk 3. Follow our Facebook and Instagram pages at Ninja Talk, the podcast. And be sure to check out our YouTube channel of the same name, where we'll be posting even more content. Podcast episodes drop every Tuesday on Anchor and Spotify, so make sure you are subscribed via upload notifications. Once again, my name is Eric, and this has been Ninja Talk.